Try not to fall, try not to lose any hope that the dawn might bring. Losing faith in me and everything I do, but now we'll be okay. We're alright, and we're not coming down. There'll be no holding on, and we say that we're all letting go. Feel me now, for all time.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, Vespia League is proud to present to you the second semi-final games, this time with Zenith Rangers on the blue side going up against Hext. I am Grang and I'm joined by Rusi to bring you the color commentating.
Hello everybody, we're in for hopefully quite an exciting series here. We're looking at two very strong teams that managed to make their way to the semi-finals. Zenith Rangers were the second seed coming out of the actual league table, and Hext were in third seed. So looking at the teams, it should be quite an exciting game really. We're just going into the pick and ban phase right now. Zenith Rangers have banned out Kindred and Nidalee, and then Hext have just banned out the Lee Sin. So there's a definite focus very, very early on actually keeping all these junglers on lockdown really, and making sure a lot of map movement and map plays don't end up happening. Looking at these Hext ban just now is Gangplank, so I'm not too sure whether that would be more aimed at the mid lane of Zenith Rangers or the top lane, but regardless, it's not happening, so we shouldn't be seeing any of that at all. We're just looking at the remainder of the bans coming out now. Just having a quick look at the teams themselves, in terms of their solo queue ranked, Zenith Rangers is looking a little bit ahead. We've got 2 Master tier players in Zenith Rangers, and then their lowest player was only Diamond 3, whereas in comparison to Purple team, which is for Hexed, they are just kind of hovering around in the Diamond area really, so perhaps we might see that Zenith Rangers actually pull out ahead just based on pure skill, but if Hex can actually have quite a good amount of team coordination and communication, we could see it become quite close and maybe even come out on top against Zenith Rangers. Final bans are Maokai and Echo, and then we've got straight away first pick with Gragas on the Zenith Rangers side, so they're definitely planning on taking that and having that as a bit of a bruiser, going straight into the tank really. We had a bit of a, before the game actually started, a bit of banter as to Mad Marius's Gragas, so Zenith Rangers could have maybe left that open and tried to tilt Mad Marius from Hexed with that, but obviously they've decided to pick it itself. It's a very strong pick at the moment. It's really good. The amount of percent damage that it does just coming out with the W, very strong. Hexed have kind of rebuted that. They've picked the Elise in the jungle, and they've decided to put the Poppy in the top lane. So they've already shown the card for the top lane, but they've got their little counter for the jungle, so trying to save as many of the counter picks as possible. We're looking at Zenith Rangers picks at the moment, and they're not hovering anything, so probably just deciding what they want to actually play with, what they want to do. Hovering a Shen here, so they might feel that that can work against a Poppy. Be interested to see if they do end up selecting that, or whether that works or not. We're just waiting on about 20 seconds left on that. Braum hover comes out now, so could possibly be seeing quite a few tanks coming out for Zenith Rangers here, if they end up locking that in. I'm not too sure what Linda's support Braum is all like really. It could be that it's not as good as... yeah, so that's locked in. So yeah, very, very tanky team coming out for Zenith Rangers at the moment. Will Hexed go for the same kind of thing? They're hovering the Callista, which is very good in terms of countering the tanky bruisers, so if that does actually get locked in, then that is a good start in terms of champ select for Hexed. Whether or not they can come out with a support, or possibly even a mid laner to back that up. Hovering a Taric, so interested to see if they pick that or not. Hovering a Teemo next, so certainly some troll hovers at the moment anyway.
Well, Teemo hovers are never at troll picks. You know, Teemo support is the deadliest support because the blind is like so poisonous against AD carries.
Yeah, basically no matter what Zenith Rangers pick against the Teemo, they don't stand a chance. The AD carry is completely worthless. But that looks like Hexed have locked in the Alistar and the Sivir, so they've shown their bot lane there now. I'm interested in the Sivir pick. It works very, very well with Alistar because you've got the ultimate as the engage to actually start rushing in. But I liked the idea of the Callista. I think it worked quite well against their team. As long as you had the peel, which an Alistar and a Poppy would provide, you could probably do a lot of damage to the Gragas, Braum and the Shen without really getting touched. But we'll see how the Sivir works. Obviously you've got the bouncing blades, that'll be hopping along, hitting everything in its path, and should still be doing quite a lot of damage towards the later parts of the game. We have an Azir hover for Zenith Rangers, and I'm not too sure about the Mundo. I doubt that is a Mundo AD carry, but I've seen worse picks in my time in solo queue. There's now a Caitlyn hover, so I imagine they're not going to make any last minute changes with that, and they're going to lock in the Azir and the Caitlyn. So Zenith Rangers have picked their team comp. We'll see if Hexed have anything to kind of counter that. Azir's very strong pick when you're dealing with a lot of tanks on your team. You can kind of work around that quite easily and have those as the front line, and then you can sort of peel with the Caitlyn with your ultimate in the back line, deal a lot of damage from far back. There's a Xerath hover at the moment, so I guess they're trying to add a bit of range onto their team with Hexed. There's now a Warwick hover, so again, classic trolling from the teams, but it could be a Zac mid could well work.
Like
yeah,
the scaling is just out. Like it's just so stupid how big it is.
Yeah, if you're gonna why rather than AP Zac, why not just take AD Zac and just go all out useless? Maybe get one or two auto attacks off, but hey, at least you can jump in on the entire team, right? And then the last pick comes out for Bavaris. It looks, having just a quick look at the teams, Hext, if the Elise doesn't go full AP, are going to be quite lacking in the magic damage. Obviously, you've got Varus's passive, but really, Varus is there for the poke, So it'd be interesting to see what they actually end up doing with that. Whether they're obviously going for a poke comp, they've got a bit of the engage with the Alistair, with the Poppy, but whether or not the Zenith Rangers, they've got 3 tanks. If they just stack armor, what do Hext have to kind of stop that from happening and actually try and get some damage out to win the fights? You're going to have a Caitlyn and a Nazir just constantly hitting you from a very, very safe distance. So with the Braum Shield as well, a Sivir Boomerang, a Varus Arrow, they can get blocked quite easily. I liked where Hex were going, but then I'm not too sure about that last pick. I'm not too sure about that at all. But we will see, because things can go horribly wrong for either side very, very quickly. The teams are just loading in now. We've obviously got a 3-minute delay, so I can chat a bit more about the teams themselves. Having a quick look at Zenith Rangers team comps in general, I think they've got a lot to work with this. They've decided to take a heal on Azir with the Ignite on Braum, so they have no exhaust or anything like that. So if someone does happen to engage on them, they don't have the exhaust appeal. But then, as I said, what do Hext have to engage with? They've got the Alistair. He's not going to be doing a lot of damage though. He is just there for the setup. You've got the Poppy, who can jump in and do a lot of damage. But is it worth taking the exhaust when you can just tick away at them with the Ignite and hit them, heal to run backwards and save yourself? I like where Zenith Rangers have gone with their overall team comp and with what we're planning on doing with it. We'll see if they actually end up putting that into practice though, because it could be that maybe Hex just get an early lead, an early couple kills, get a Drake, get a Rift Herald, then just steamroll it from there. Shen, maybe he gets behind, can't keep up with the Poppy, who can constantly hit him. Obviously, they picked the Shen into the Poppy, so maybe they have an idea of what to do against it. Maybe Nafo's quite confident playing against a Poppy as Shen. He's got the ultimate, obviously, to actually back someone up, so he can constantly be split pushing even after the teleports have been burnt up. I'm interested that none of the mid laners have taken TP, though. Obviously, I kind of gave a reason why Azir probably might want it, but obviously a double TP at the moment seems to be quite favourable in terms of the meta. It gives you a lot of map presence, and particularly with coordinated games like these where you're expecting teams to actually be very well coordinated and keep on top of the game and the map in general. I'm surprised there's not a single double teleport on either side. Obviously, Varus probably doesn't favour a teleport so much. He's quite an immobile champion, and if you're going to get jumped on by a Shen and a Gragas, you probably want the escape with the heal. But I think Azir could have maybe have got away with a teleport, perhaps.
Yeah,
Who knows?
or possibly even a cleanse against the virus with
Yeah.
the Chain of Corruption would have been, in my mind, would have been a much better summoner spell against the virus.
Well, yeah,
But
you've got the Varus ult that can just go straight in and hit you, and then that can be followed up by either an Alistair jumping in, or it can be followed up by an Elise Cocoon.
yeah, especially in the laning
Cleanse
phase.
wouldn't be bad. Yeah,
Laning phase, cleanse would be great if Marius decides to come in for a gank when Hehe is level 6, who can just pile
yes.
up that CC, and Azir's just, well, I'm just gonna take it because I'm either gonna dodge it, which is almost like 50-50, or I'm gonna take it.
Yeah, at which point you can then cleanse and just get out.
Yeah.
They've used their ult and your cleanse is on a longer cooldown, but if the alternative is you dying, what's the heal going to do? That's going to give you an extra like 150 health and a bit of a movement speed, but if they've got enough damage to just flat out kill you, or the Alistair can follow up with hard CC, what's a heal going to do in the long run? Probably not a lot.
Yeah, possibly just thinking about team fighting potential.
Yeah, so I guess the heal does give you, as I kind of mentioned before, the heal can both save yourself and a teammate, so double heal's not necessarily a bad thing. But then Azir and Caitlyn are going to be on the backline together with 2 heals, and they maybe will have the Brawn for peel. They probably will, honestly, but it could work different ways. But anyway, we are going into the game right now. Any second now, it will be loading up, but we will see what ends up happening in the first couple minutes of the game. As I said, if Hexed can get ahead, I think they've got quite a good chance of just steamrolling this and winning the game before Zenith Rangers can get tanky enough to actually survive it. But we will see. Any interesting items being selected? Not particularly. Yeah, looks just like standard builds for everyone, really.
Okay, so you're already in the game. I'm still in the loading screen.
Ah, nice.
Okay, so I get to look at the Keystone Masteries. Nothing out of the ordinary. Junglers.
Yeah.
Taking the strength of the ages and top laners.
Yeah.
Normal.
Yeah, so we're getting a lot of pings going at the moment. Just basically people saying, "Don't go here, go here." It looks like the Hexed guys might be trying a bit of an invade, but I think they're just playing defensive. Actually, I think they're just playing defensive. They are pinging the Nexus. They want that to be destroyed at some point. It might be a bit rushed, but they are certainly pinging the mid lane. They might just be playing around with pings, but they might actually be saying, do something really early, and then rush down that mid lane. Get an early Rift Herald and rush down, scare the Azir off, say, no, you're only an Azir, you're not going to do anything to me early on.
That moment when you finally get into the game, and it's like 1 minute and 11 seconds, and all the pings that have been put on the map, they all pile up, so the whole corner is like a massive red dot area. Okay, so now
you just gotta see everything all there. Ping, 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 ping.
yeah, exactly. Okay, so
let me just double check. What time are you on your timer?
I am live now, 1:44.
Okay, excellent. Good. We're the same then. That's fine.
So I'm just gonna quickly have to put the champions because Zenith Rangers were in the wrong order, so were the champions. I totally forgot about that because I have so many things on my plate that I have to keep charge of.
You have to make everything right, yeah. Don't worry about it.
I'll get him in order for the next time.
Yeah, no worries. Just quickly, it looks as though Flirt Mechanics and Linda have started the Krugs in bot lane, so they've got the early level 2, whereas Tilted by Custers helped Mad Mirarius whilst Tilted by Caitlyn pushed the lane, hoping to deny something, because obviously the Elise actually started the Gromp. Salamander getting a decent early trade onto Nafo there, doing a fair amount of damage. Almost pushes them into tower. Just a bit of trading back and forth really. Obviously, with Graspavian dying, you're probably not expecting to die so low. Yeah. But it does look like Nafo's quite low.
Yeah, it's really interesting to see Nafo decided to go with a Ruby Crystal and potions instead of the Corruption Potion.
Yeah, so I guess he's probably just saying, you know, I'm probably going to want an early back anyway, so that's probably why he's trading quite early on, just try and get those pots gone from Salamander. He's going to do an early back maybe and purchase something with that Ruby Crystal. Just a bit of trade, but nothing too much going on bottom. In terms of CS, it does look like Flirt Mechanics is a little bit ahead of Tilted by Caitlyn. Salamander goes in onto Nafo.
Yeah, just getting some bit of damage, just trading off.
Yeah.
It's a nice thing to happen now, because now Nafo is out of those potions.
Yeah, whereas Salamander's still got 1 tick left, and the thing is with Corrupting Potion, you just kind of go in and use that. It looks as though Pepsi King is planning on coming in bottom. Linda's just trying to force the stun on. Flirt Mechanics takes a bit of damage.
Yeah, but Caster is now way behind now. He has to burn a flash. Ignite is there and the Bison knocks him with up, but the heal from Kate is keeping him alive. But it doesn't matter because Braum is still gonna get the first life of Zenith Rangers. And Pepsi King goes back in. That burns a flash out of Caitlyn now. First Mechanic flashes. Oh, the Caliber doesn't connect, but the Piltover Peacemaker does connect. And that's 2 kills. The tilted bottom lane has been tilted. They have been getting 2 deaths. And now Matt Marius is ganking on the top side now, but Natu should be just relatively safe from that gank.
So yeah, so that was a very interestingly well played gank early on by Zenith Rangers. Pepsi King coming in. It looked like maybe they were gonna all of Hext were gonna get out, but then managed to catch the Alistair, obviously. Braum picks that kill up. Probably not ideal for first blood, but hey, if support getting extra gold is not a bad thing. And then we had Flirt Mechanics just flashing into tower range, managing to hit the net onto Tilted by Caitlyn and finishing off the kill with the long range headshot there to pick that up.
Well, once again, Matt Marius is really wanting that gank. Nafu just beautifully dodges out the cocoon, uses the dash, but is he gonna be safe? Oh, nice.
Yes, the dodge and the shield there, saving Nafo.
Now he's gonna go back, and what is he gonna pick up? Would be a Kinglet gem, but going for a sprint? No, it's a Puppy Senior.
Yeah, so going straight for the armor and health there. Flirt Mechanics is trading with his BF sword now. Got a fair advantage on Tilted by Caitlyn. And Linda picked the early Sightstone up, so we're basically saying, now that we're ahead, we don't want to lose our lead, so please don't ever gank us, we've got vision. We shouldn't be caught out at all.
Yeah, they're keeping safe with the pink ward in the Tri-Bush and a ward in the River Brush. So, it almost feels like a Matt Marius, if he's gonna gank on the bottom lane, it should come from the...
It's gotta be
no,
lane.
it's actually Pepsi King, because it's those... No wait, hold on, I'm thinking...
Yeah, Matt Marius.
Matt Marius.
If Matt Marius wants to gank,
Oh,
Zenith
lane gank.
Ranger's gotta come in through the lane, yeah. But then, as we just see there, Linda knows that, puts the ward straight down. Suddenly, bot lane is ungankable. So, only thing that Mad Marius can do is just say to the tilted duo, just don't start a fight, play safe, farm up, and try not to get caught out at all.
Yeah, and
Pepsi
even-
King showed that.
Yeah, even the anti-Code King put it down some wards on the Dragon Pit, he got the Rift Scuttle and then an additional ward. That's at the
Yeah.
entrance of the blue buff, so there is great vision on the bottom lane.
Yeah, you're looking kind of like nothing can be really done bottom lane. There's a bit of trade going on top, but nothing too much again. We've got Mad Marius hovering around top though.
Puts down a pink and I think he's gonna take the crumb.
Yeah, I'm interested.
yeah,
We've
but-
got Pepsi King
yeah.
walking around.
Up, gets
He might
spotted
know.
out.
Yeah, we've got the Wolf Spirit there, so nothing will happen there. He's looking to try and come over and do something though.
Possibly looking to getting ambushed, but he has body slam to get over the Dragon
Yeah.
Pit wall, so he's gonna be safe.
Yeah, can't do too much against Gragas, who's obviously just gonna hop straight over that dragon wall.
Yeah.
He doesn't have flash still,
No.
so if you could force the body slam, maybe you could try and do something with that, but not likely.
Yeah,
We're
also-
seeing. Oh, sorry, what were you gonna say?
Well, yeah, that on the side of Scenic Rangers, so you got Gragas, you got Shen, you got Braum. So Scenic Rangers, they don't have a single threat comp. They don't have a triple threat comp, but they have a double threat comp instead. And all of those three members, they're just... It seems like they're just protecting those carries when it comes to the late game and those team fights. They just Earth Mechanics and Foreign Bucks, they're gonna be the ones that are going to be doing out the damage in those team fights. And
Yeah.
then with the Stand United, Braum Shield, even Gragas with some disengage. They're just safe.
Yeah, and that's the problem. That's the exact problem. Is the Braum got an early first blood, which means vision can be set up straight away to then protect for Caitlyn, who's already got a BF sword, who's now winning lane quite hard, getting a 13 CS advantage, getting some damage out here. Oh, Tilted has managed to return some of the damage, but then Flight Mechanics just gets a lot of damage without range out.
Ooh,
Return it all completely.
that was a nice bit of damage from Hehe with his piercing arrow.
Yeah, so in terms of the team comps, the only way really in which Hext can try and win this is with just insane amounts of poke coming out beforehand. Because what's the best way to deal with a tank? Just don't let them jump on you and just keep hitting them and hitting them until they realise, oh, I can't go in now, I'm too low. So if Hehe can stay even or get ahead, and Hext can play safe enough to actually not lose lane any more than we are, Hehe can do exactly what he just did there in the mid lane, and just hit with an arrow, chunk a quarter of a health, do that 3 or 4 times, half the team are going to have to recall off that, aren't they?
But
Obviously,
would Pepsi King have his attention now on the mid lane, just to make sure that Hehe gets set even more behind on his item builds?
well, Pepsi King's got two ways in which he can do it, really. He can try and get the bottom lane even further ahead, and try and make sure that the Sivir cannot do anything. Or, as you say, he can try and gank Hehe, which it looks like he might well be doing now, to try and put a stop to.
Oh, nice flash coming up, but a nice flash from Pepsi King, also knocking right into the soldiers, but Matthias is doing the damage. Vapor in the box still gets the kill, and Stand United is keeping Pepsi alive.
Fantastic team coordination there, and Mad Maris is actually going to take a fair bit of damage just trying to clear this minion wave. Tilted by Caitlyn is low on mana right now, so this bottom lane will possibly have to play even safer than they already are, just to try and actually survive.
Just once again, just trading with Salamander, showing who is the true tank of the top lane.
Yeah, I mean, with that extra kill as well, Pepsi King looking like he almost died, but obviously with Stand United coming out, and that's exactly what Hexed have to deal with here. They not only have to deal with actually killing the people, but then getting through this Stand United, and then a Shen will appear afterwards. You don't have any way really to try and follow that up unless you've managed to catch like a 4v1 or a 3v1 or something like that. You've got a lot to deal with, and without any like double TP or something to follow up this Shen, it's all falling in Zenith Rangers' favour really. It's all kind of coming to place, and their team comp is going exactly the way that they want it to. Just a bit of trading going on there again for Nafa and Salamander. As we said, I wouldn't expect any deaths coming out of there anytime soon. We've got Pepsi King coming in, ganking in this mid lane though.
Yeah, but Matthias is right on the brush, so can't really go in, even Four in the box was not in the lane, so he was just forcing him out, possibly making him miss some CS. Sporo is just a few CS ahead of Hehe.
Yeah, so Poro's just recalled, managed to finish off the Nash's tooth. Hehe has actually managed to pick up his Mana Moon though, so he's going to be stacking that. That's good for him, because that gives them Hexed the late game chance really. That's all they can rely on, unless they manage to get some godlike team fights that they can come up on top with. Pepsi King getting spotted bottom lane, clearing out that ward though, whilst the rest of Zenith Rangers bot lane shows up in the lane itself. I think, judging by the ping, it might well be that... No, they're not actually going to try and gank this mid lane. Or possibly... Pepsi King's kind of hovering around, he's undecided. They're going to spot Mad Marius, however.
Pepsi King goes in with the body slam, gets some nice bit of damage. He's already down to half health, but uses the explosive cast. But a nice rebel is actually gonna keep him alive, and the action is in the top lane. Nafu is once again trading with Salamander. But Mechanics a little bit go loud, but just not out of range of caster.
Yeah, his flirt mechanics takes a little bit of damage there. Obviously manages to just about net away, though it was a bit of a sketchy net because it hit the wall. The Braum is now showing up again, so Linda's going to come in and apply a bit of pressure. Flirt mechanics again. Land the net, get the auto attack off. That's just already a one trade, and there's not a whole lot of retaliation that can be done there from just a Sivir.
Yeah, that moment when Sivir even has the spell sheet active, and he still connects with like hundreds of damage.
And this, again, the problem, Sivir has still not been able to recall yet, so we've got Tortured by Caitlyn, who's barely got any mana at all. Or if, now I think about it, did Tortured by Caitlyn recall? I must have done with the item.
They went
so,
back.
yeah, so already out of mana. And this is one of the problems, really. Fortunately, Heihe's got the blue buff, so with the Mana Moon shouldn't have too much mana problems, but you'll find that if the team fights go extended, and if Pepsi King and Nafa can actually keep healing up, Tilted by Caitlyn's going to run out of mana, and then you've only got Hehe for the poke. So we'll see anyway. I'm getting ahead of myself. The team fights are a long way off right now. We're still in the laning phase. No towers have dropped. There's been a couple kills going over to Zenith Rangers. A bit of a trap wall being set up by Flirt Mechanics. It looks as though Flirt Mechanics is not maxing W though. So maxing Q and then going for the net afterwards, so trying to play safe with that.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised of how little time Matt Maris has pushed on the mid lane actually.
Yeah. So they looks like Hex realised at least that the Rift Herald's going, but nothing can be done about it. Yeah, so there we go.
Yeah, big up Gragas. I think Gragas was the one that also.
Yeah, Gragas is much better. Yeah.
So he's gonna have even more of a clear time in the jungle.
Yeah, so it gives you good clear, it gives you the movement speed so you can get around faster, and obviously lets you, if you can get a gank off that goes successfully, you can just take down a tower so quickly with that Rift Herald buff. I think that's probably what we're going to do in the mid lane. We're going to try and set up a gank. We're going to have the Shen obviously with the ultimate, so maybe he's going to try and clear that wave, and then Nafo is going to keep his eye on mid lane. We've got Mad Marius showing up bottom.
Yeah, they can.
But Tilted by Aircasters doesn't manage to get anything off there really, just kind of save the wave, save the tower, clearing the wave. Pepsi King is picking up red buff, so we'll see if he tries to do anything with that. A dragon has not gone down yet, which is fair enough, they've not really had the opportunity to.
Oh! Hello, that's a Tiamat on a Shen. So he's most likely going for
Titanic Hydra with that. Yeah.
a second item.
So that's quite brave. As I kind of said though, the thing is Hex don't have much magic damage, so you don't need to rush anything like a Spirit Visage or anything like that. You just go straight. Oh.
Ooh, once again, gank on the mid lane and hey, he's down. He's not laughing.
Yes. So again, Hey doesn't, as a Varus, very immobile. If the flash is gone, or if you can burn the flash with just an engage like Poro managed to pull out there, Pepsi King then shows up. It's a dead Varus straight out. You're not gonna be able to survive that really, unless you get a Shen ult or something like that, which obviously you don't have.
Yeah, I'm actually looking at where did Pepsi King come from? Because there was a pink ward at the entrance from the river. So did Pepsi King go from the blue buff?
Let me just have a look. I think Pepsi King shows up coming from. Yeah, he went round towards the blue buff. Oh no, and then he did actually just walk right past this pink ward. So
they had the vision, but chose to stay.
Well, he didn't have much time to react. I don't think. He kind of saw it, and maybe he hovered just a bit too long to land the arrow. Minor mistake, but the minor mistake that costs you a death, it's not worth it, is it?
Yeah, and even a flash.
Yeah, exactly. You still use the flash and you still die. He didn't use a heal, because by that point you accept you're dead.
Pepsi King could be a little bit caught up, but there's a stun United just to make sure that Hex don't get any chance to go out ham, but they do now. Salamander's out of mana. There's the explosive cast just to keep Salamander at bay. Has to use the flash to get out, but the Incinerators are still going. They want this kill, and Pepsi King is gonna get it, but there's Hehe. Runs with the Chain of Corruption. It only connects on to Shen, so not a whole lot of damage, and a nice flash from Powerbox. Ember Sea Light is gonna divide Hehe, and he's 0 and 3.
That's a fantastic team fight for Zenith Rangers there, picking up kills on people they really want. With the tanks, suddenly the tanks will be even tankier, and with no real way to deal with them if they're going to get ahead, it's not looking too good for Hex. As I said, brilliant team fight on Zenith Rangers' side. Definitely, considering how deep they were in the enemy jungle or enemy lane to actually get those kills, but still coming out on top. Very, very well played and coordinated.
Yeah, who needs a teleport on your mid laner when you can just communicate with your team and make the rotation very early on, and then it pays off?
Yeah, exactly. As I kind of said before, I was saying, well, you know, why are you not taking double TP on an Azir? It could work quite well, and it gives you even more map pressure. But as you say, all they need to do is just make the rotation early, stay out of vision. Who's going to stop you?
The rotation police.
The rotation police.
Do you have a license for that rotation?
Unfortunately, Hex forgot to call in the rotation police today, and it does not work out favorably for them. If you're gonna have a rotation police, you know, make sure you call them in a timely manner, because otherwise it'll just go horribly wrong. It's looking like Zenith Rangers here, with the advantage they've got now, they can just get their first Drake and that'll be a little bit of extra damage to add to the damage they're already dealing.
Oh,
They're heading
Caitlyn
straight for this bottom tower.
has to use on the hunt, but is he gonna be safe? Caster actually pays with his life just make sure Caitlyn is gonna get away, and he does get himself out as well with the flash. And now a 5v4, but there's not a whole lot of team poke as series just keeps poking. King goes for the expositor and gets 3-man of Hex Gaming. Now there's a lot of wombo combos going on, but Borobuck seems to get 1 kill. Bird Mechanics is gonna get the second one onto the Alistar, and Maris is up in there, and Borobuck is gonna stay him down for a double kill. Looking for more. That's 4 members down from Zenith Rangers. It's a double kill for those double threat comp carries.
Yeah, so that, once again, amazingly well coordinated team fight. The Nafo actually saves his Shen ult until quite late in to make sure he shields the right person, make sure he saves for Caitlyn, so that no one can die. Everyone manages to survive on such small amounts of health that if they can get a team fight off like that before the pokes had a chance to land, they'll just win it. If Hexed can keep fighting back, get the poke off before that fight happens, it's a completely different story given how low Zenith Rangers were. So whilst it was a well-played team fight by Zenith Rangers, it almost went horribly wrong for them if people had died just a bit sooner, if Hex actually had the damage, if Hey had just a bit more damage, maybe finish off his second item. Entirely different story, and it possibly would have been a one-team fight for Hex. So whilst Zenith Rangers are 10,000 gold ahead, if Hex can play to their win condition, they might actually be able to pull off at least a good couple team fights. But yeah, very well done for Zenith Rangers. As I say, they're 11,000 gold ahead right now, and it's not looking good for Hex at the moment. Zenith Rangers have full control of the map. There's very little Hex can actually do in terms of rotating and trying to get some kind of plays and some kind of picks caught out there.
Yes, it looks like Zenith Rangers are going for an absolute perfect game. No kills, no deaths rather.
Yeah.
And no turrets, and no dragons, but there's a fight. Hex are wanted, they're looking for Flirt Mechanics, there's a lot of damage on him, and he's down. Matt Marius is gonna get the shutdown kill, but there comes Natu now, he's giving the damage on to Matt Marius. Pepsikin is gonna be the next target that is gonna melt. Natu gets 1 kill, it's actually Borenbox who gets it, and now he gets the second one on the Puppy, and there's a Zero Sword is just doing work, and they are turning the fight on their hands.
Yeah, so that was quite an interesting team fight because Hex actually had quite a good idea there. They managed to catch the flirt mechanics of Caitlyn off. Oh, there's another fight going on there.
You're going ham, and you got the kill. You got the cookie. Here, take it.
So that's looking like they're going to get a mid lane tower there. Just rewind quickly to the fight before. Hex managed to get a catch on Flirt Mechanics. That was the only one of the 2 damage dealers for Zenith Rangers that they actually have on their team that was around in that area at the time. So if we can kill that, suddenly there's tanks who probably aren't actually going to do too much damage to you. Which ended up being the case, and we managed to get a kill and then a second kill on Pepsi King. By that time, however, Poro had managed to actually rotate down to the mid lane, at which point it was just then a complete wipe against Hexed and managed to pick up like 3 or 4 kills after the short delay on the tower. Poro is very, very, very far ahead, 6-0-5 there. I think Zenith Rangers will be upset that they've had a couple of deaths now, but they know they
Even 3 members of Hex, he's only now half health, but there's the Caitlyn also doing the work, and he is out of it. He flashed out, and Pepsikin is gonna get the first kill on the casters. Ace in the hole, but it gets blocked by Salamander.
Yeah, so again, only 1 kill, but people low on either side, but it's still going into the favor.
There's Pepsikin, they actually got knocked back into a wall by Salamander. There's the stand unit that they're hitting on the 2 members, and Matt Marius are the ones that are focused, and Matt Marius takes taken down, and Salamander will be the second target for Flirt Mechanics double kill.
Yeah, so the fights are still really going into Zenith Rangers' favour here. We've actually managed to pick things up. They're going to try and take this inhibitor tower and the inhibitor to go with it. Pepsi King tries to do something to Torture by Caitlyn, but it's not going to do too much as Torture by Casters and Hey are still around. Going to take the inhib and just walk away. That is a 24-minute inhibitor going down for Zenith Rangers. Not looking good for Hex at all. That provides a lot of pressure on a Hex to not only clear the wave, but then also make sure you can get a vision around Barons so that Zenith Rangers don't just try and sneak it. They are certainly going to struggle. They're on the back foot. 16,000 gold lead in favor of Zenith Rangers. That is not good for Hex to deal with at all.
It almost feels like they need a miraculous team fight that they can win, like getting a pick onto Poro.
Effectively, yeah. At this point, the two damage dealers of the team for Zenith Rangers, Poro 605, you've got Float Mechanics 517. Ooh, those damage dealers are fed, and that's not a nice thing to have, even when going into a team fight, which is probably the only way that Hex can come back out of this, is poke, 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 and then start a team fight. Damage dealers that strong, even if you can get them low, they'll still deal a lot of damage before they go down, if they go down. Really, the only way in which Hex are going to come back on this is some kind of Baron throw, if I'm being honest. Or, as I said, again and again, just hope they can get the poke off to actually win the fight.
On the Word Mechanic, who's all alone with getting the CC on the Word Mechanic. He's all alone with his support there. And there comes the rest of the Zenith Rangers, but they can't get any more. Word Mechanics is already down.
Yeah, so Flat was getting a bit cocky there, and mind you, he's going to get a good fight off here.
Still looking, Salamander is the only one that gets a proper knockback, but Hinder gets knocked back even further down. Salamander is gonna go down, Poro's soldiers are gonna do the work, and Pepsikin is in the face. He is really hammy boy, but he gets taken down.
Yeah, so Nafo didn't actually use his ult that entire time. Obviously, probably not worth using it on the Caitlyn, because at that point Flirt was completely dead. There was no way of saving Flirt at all there. But I think there was a chance to save Pepsi using the ult there. But again, Nafo didn't want anything to do with it.
Yeah, I think he was more focused on getting that top inner turret, which he got.
Yeah, he did. So Jungler dies, but then Zenith Rangers are still strong enough they can just take the dragon. Almost makes it over the wall.
Just barely. That's a question mark, why? What?
Yeah, like I swear, I had that, didn't I?
I practiced this 1,000 times.
Yeah,
this never
that's
happened
what Earth
before.
was for.
Don't worry, Poro. We all get performance issues when we're on the stage.
Wow. Poro having some not so big performance issues. 7-0 and 5. He's overall performing well, but a small wall can stop even the greatest of players.
Yes.
Poro now just picks up a blue buff. It looks like Zenith Rangers are going to be sitting around the Baron, and they're just going to try and take it as best they can, I think, or at least bait around it. They're going to start it now, so what are Hex going to do about it? They don't really have champion team.
Has to try still. He knows they're doing this, but he's already so late. Pepsi can even knock him even down even more, but not a whole lot. Pepsi is all alone actually, but they can't really commit to this.
It doesn't really matter though. They get the Baron buff for free. They don't really have to use anything at all. All that is used is Pepsi King's ultimate. Everything else is still on the rest of Zenith Rangers team. So they can just split push now. We've got Shen in the bottom lane. They've got an inhib down in mid lane, and they can just stack up top lane and try and see if we can take some of those towers. Just a bit of damage. Yeah.
Salamander is dealing with him, but that turret is just melting. Pepsi looking for Caitlyn, possibly have the spell shift up. So he needs to use the CC for him, but he is very low. He almost has to go back, and Shen is gonna get the turret on the bottom lane, and the top lane, then inhibitor has fallen. Pepsi is also there. Salamander is all alone. He surely should go down. AC in the hole just to make sure he goes down. Pepsi is gonna get the kill. Next turret is gets well done. He's being the next target with the barrel. Pepsi gets the double kill, and now Nafo looking for Hehe. And by Pepsi King actually gets a triple kill. Could he look even more? Possibly a quadra kill for him. And now Caitlyn is gonna steal the quadra away with the ace in the hole. But that is an ace, and surely gonna be first game for Zenith Rangers.
Yes, that was a very, very strong game for Zenith Rangers. They really looked strong in it. They had a very good team comp. They knew exactly what they were doing with it. And it really showed. They really showed up there to actually win the game. I'm interested to see what happens the rest of the series. If Hex can get a good team comp, I think they've got the individual skill to actually do it. It's just, if they can get a good team comp, yeah, absolutely. But that team comp not looking so hot in comparison to Zenith Rangers. Zenith Rangers had the Braum to stop any poke, and the rest of it all there for them. 28-minute win, but we'll see. We've still got a couple games to go. Hopefully more than a couple if Hex manage to actually bring some games back and win.
Yeah, we're gonna see. We're just gonna take a smallish break, but we're gonna come back with a game 2 in the semi-finals between Zenith Rangers and Hext. And hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Game 2 between X, this time on your blue side, and Zenith Rangers in the semi-finals of the Vesper Spring Split. Just doing a quick swap. Rusi is out, and in is Mighty Waffle.
Hello everyone. We now have the bands already done. They're going through very fast. We have GP, Lee Sin, Azir on the side of X, and Kindred, Nidalee, and Maokai on the side of forgot their name.
Zenith Rangers.
Zenith Rangers, yes, exactly. We also have the first pick Gragas on the side of X, and Echo and Graves on the side of Zenith Rangers.
Yeah, Echo getting locked in. Graves still being hovered over, not decided if it's gonna be. It is gonna be Graves lock-in, so is that gonna be Graves jungle?
Probably. We have been seeing tank Echo top, so that's probably a Graves jungle. You have a hover on the side of X of Tryndamere. Don't think that's a good pick.
I don't think it's gonna be. It's just gonna be one of those.
Oops.
I'm gonna hover this champion because nobody plays him.
Ah, of course. Braum is a good pick for the bot lane, obviously. Oh, and we have a lock-in of Braum and Poppy on the side of X. Poppy for that top lane, obviously, and Braum for that bot lane to... Oh, what are you gonna call Tilted by casters? Are you gonna just call him Tilted?
Yeah, I call them the tilted bottom lane. I think
Oh, okay.
on the lane. It's a nice synergy. It's like they're in a team. It's like their team is called Tilted.
Yeah, but
It's not a
they're
great
always silly
name.
next.
Not great name, but it is a name.
Yeah.
It's like a Mighty Waffle. It's a name.
Mighty is a team, yeah, obviously.
No, it's a name.
On the side of Zenith, we have Aver from Porto for Thresh for the bot lane, and Ezreal versus a Braum. It
No,
could be
Kalista.
Elf. Kalista. Oh, and it's the classic bot lane, Thresh and Kalista. It's a very good combo if you can pull it off with the hook and the CC from Thresh, maintaining the targets in place, and Kalista just putting arrow after arrow inside them and then renting them for 1,000 damage.
Yeah, that is ideally how a Kali Rash lane works. Is that so you get the hook. Okay, so that means that the target is immobile for just a bit, and it's even pushing even closer to the AD carry, so Kalista can just hop into range and just get the Q, and then just getting a lot of attack damage with the basic attacks. That's the word I'm looking for.
Yeah,
And just running.
we have the lock from the side of X of Lucian and Yasuo. Lucian obviously a good pick with Braum, because you can stack those passive blows
Passive blows.
to stun the target very fast. And it's surprising that they left Lucian open when Braum was picked on their side, but we'll see. Versus Kalista, Braum can be very difficult to play with, just because she can hop around and dodge the Qs and everything. And we have a Rise lock-in on the side of Zenith Rangers. For that middle lane versus Yasuo. Okay, that's an interesting pick. Obviously, Yasuo can win wall like 2 of the Rise spells, I think. The one that bounces in the Q, right?
I think just the Q. And
really?
Yeah, because
Isn't the E a projectile?
No, it's you put it on somebody and then it starts like hopping around from the champion.
Okay, we'll see.
It's not a projectile. Like Q is the only projectile.
Okay. We'll see, because Ryze also has the snare to fight him, so it could be an interesting pick in the mid lane. Uh, coming to this game, what do you want to talk about, like the jungle? How do you think the junglers are gonna influence the game this game?
Most certainly. Like, so Matt Marius, the last game, he was trying to put a lot of focus, especially early on that top lane, unsuccessfully trying to get Puppy rolling against Shen. That didn't happen, and for some reason, he kind of just opted to go back to farming and then reacting to Pepsikin's movement whenever he's ganking. Like, Pepsikin was ganking on the mid lane, and that put Mac Marius trying to protect him unsuccessfully too, because that means that Hehe was already dead and almost paid it with his own life as well. So it's gonna be interesting to see how Pepsikin is gonna do on a less gank heavy jungler as a Graves. It's going to be focused on farming.
I mean, yes, you can play that style of Graves, but personally, I like to play Graves as an offensive jungler and just invade their jungler and probably just gank the lanes that are pushed and get the most out of your damage, especially early on. Also, I was watching the summoner spells picked by the bot lane. We have Ignite pick on Thresh, going for that early damage and trying to kill Lucian. We are gonna see a lot of aggression on the side of Zenith Rangers. We'll see if they can get that damage onto Lucian. Also, we have the TP from Ryze versus the Ignite from Hehe. Obviously, putting a lot of pressure on the map with the TP, but in lane he's gonna be less likely to kill the opponent.
Yeah. Unless
We'll
it's
see how that works out.
Unless it's gonna be a gank from Pepsikin, but even though Hehe has a great way of getting out with that E, just dash into enemies and getting
and
away.
he can block most of the spells from Pepsi King, so
Yeah. Like, I think
we'll see.
Yeah, like only the quick draw cannot be blocked by Hehe's wind wall.
If Pepsi King plays well, he can quick draw over the wall and then just burst him down. But if he's
Hehe can use the dash to go over Pepsi King and on the other side of the wind wall if he plays it correctly.
And kite him around the wall, yeah, of course. We'll see. I think we're up for an interesting game, especially in the bot lane. Because this is basically two lanes that are very played in solo queue, Kalista Thresh and Braum Lucian, just because of the power they have and the synergy they have together. Going for the summoning screen, I can't see the masteries yet.
It takes a little bit of time. I'm having some unusually big loading times myself as well. So we're just gonna have to wait for a little bit longer. Hopefully it won't go 1 minute and 11 seconds into the game before I'll actually load it into the game.
Okay, I'm in the summoning, so
okay.
Do you want me to talk about the masteries?
Yeah, go ahead, because I'm having nothing.
We have a pretty standard mastery distribution in the top lane, obviously without Grasp of the Undying. In the jungle, we have strength for both junglers, Graves and Gragas. In the mid lane, this is the interesting part. In the mid lane, we have Warlord's Bloodlust from Yasuo for that sustain in the lane, and Storm Raider Surge from Ryze. So we are gonna see Ryze just bursting down people and just running around at the speed of sound, and just isn't gonna be as easy to land skill shots on him after he deals a little bit of damage. So this is an interesting pick, because Rise, with that ult, he gains movement speed, and plus the Storm Ranger Surge goes so fast. It's just ridiculous.
Okay.
In a bot lane,
Okay, so I had an improvement. I loaded up into the game with 1 minute and 3 seconds. So there's
Nice.
8 seconds of improvement.
nice.
It's
That's how you do it.
So
Uh,
I should start up the game as at the same time as you would in
yeah.
if
1 minute
20
30.
in 20 games about if I keep no 20 is too long. 12
Okay.
13 games. Okay, so
Okay, we have a pretty standard level 1. Graves and the Gragas both starting on the top side of the jungle. The tilted bot lane is starting Krugs, and so is the Kalista Thresh starting Gromp for that early level 2.
when everybody gets an early level 2, nobody does.
Yeah, basically. Because Thresh and Lucian, no. Lucian and Braum have a really strong level 2, but so do Kalista and Thresh. Because, oh, and
Yeah,
we
it's
have an
actually
aggression
level
on
2
one
on Linda first, puts a wild hook, and Caitlyn just sees it coming and it goes the other way around. Nice dodge from Poro in the path to get that knock up rather than the knockback. And we have a pause.
Yeah, it was. Okay, this is sound problems. Okay, we have time to talk about this. Graves and Gragas are both doing a full clear of the jungle in the early stages of the game, going for the on the side of Gragas, the Gromp, Blue, and then Wolves, and Graves going for the Krugs, Red, and what are these? So we can probably see if Graves can invade on Gragas, because Graves will out-sustain Gragas in the jungle, at least on the other early levels. We'll see if he can use that in his advantage. I don't think he can right now, but we'll see. Also, in the top lane and the bot lane, we have both lanes from Zenith Rangers pushed in. So if Gragas after Red has time, he can rotate bot lane and pick up an easy double kill. And we are back to the game.
So yeah, Marius does have an opening to gank on the bottom lane. Winter is still not level 3, so doesn't have a lantern. I'm gonna check that. Yeah, doesn't have a lantern.
No, obviously.
If there was a gank coming from Marius, yeah, I think it would burn at least a flash. But
That's a pretty important spell in my opinion.
oh yeah, it is like the most important to 80% of
Basically.
the champions.
Unless you're playing Shakeout jungle.
Or Hacker in top lane.
Oh, and we have an invade from Gragas. Oh, no, they're meeting up in the
Yeah, nice.
smite from Pexix.
Yeah, but Hex are just looking to turn this with the two members of the Hex and Marius. But they chose not to go for Hepsikin.
Porto took so much time going for the help on him, so he couldn't get the damage in.
Ooh, Salamander is actually a bit too
Losing.
low from the Time Wanders. With Echo actually starting up with that Doran's Ring on the top lane. So it feels to me that he wants to go offensive first and then possibly building up for something tanky.
Sunfire and the classic Sunfire and Iceborne gun build that we've been seeing on Tank Echo.
Yeah.
Also, you can see in the bot lane, they're playing very aggressive, the Kalista and Thresh. Oh. That's a lot of damage.
It is some 950 damage with the base dice. Linda getting stunned out by the bomb passive. Exhaust is on the Mad Marius, keeping tilted Caitlyn out alive from the ignite of Linda.
That was an ignite also burned by the side of Zenith Rangers.
Yep, but Mad Marius is now on the bottom and he's waiting in the dry bush. Has to be careful because if Caitlyn gets a little bit got out in that gank, but that Sentinel is gonna hook him up.
No,
Gets-
he's not. No, he's
Oh,
not.
nice! There was even 2 Sentinels and they both missed Mad Marius in the dry bush.
Oh.
Bird gets 1 stack. Oh, nice flay, but there's actually a flash from Mad Marius to deny the flay. Back, but it's still
Cancelled
both.
the dash right before he could flash. So that was a very good play.
Yeah, it looked a little wonky, but
Yeah.
wonky is good.
Wonky's good.
Wonky
Yeah.
is good. Like it's like the most how did you say it? Those little bit of what the hell moments with wonky.
We I like the dance moves
Casters.
from
Little bit
Oh.
of station jumps on a
Oh.
hook once again. Not connecting for Linda. Linda's hook game has not been on point for the first 6 minutes of the game.
It's gonna be a difficult game if he's not landing those hooks. He could throw the lead they have in the bot lane. Also, Lucian's heal is back up, so they can go for a little bit of aggression, even if they are low on HP. Just trying to push them out of the lane and securing some farm for them.
Yeah, but Floor Mechanics also has his heal and Linda. It just hurts me with your hooks. You're trying to predict Caitlyn's dodge,
Yeah.
but you
Not
gotta do
getting
it
it.
a little bit closer than that. Like you're just throwing them out wild. It just reminds me of a dart hook.
I think if he's listening, he's gonna hook the other way around. So he's gonna try and hook and just cue the bush be behind him.
Yeah, just sit in that bush. And that basically creates an auto zone from the bottom lane. Instead of... See, you're just sitting in a wave. They can see where the hook is coming. Instead of sitting in the brush at the tip of it,
Yeah.
creating auto zone.
It's the phantom pressure basically. He just stays
Yeah.
there and no one can get near that bush.
Oh, that hook landed. That was a
saying
nice
about the
hook.
hooks.
But Shane Caster is trying to go. Basco actually goes in, gets knocked by only Hayden in a flash box. Into
Whoa.
it, Work Mechanics is on the turn, but there's Pepsi King also. That should be first blood. Dress gets the first blood, and I believe Pepsi King got the second one. Once again, the support getting the first blood, and also
that-
the Pepsi King getting the second kill.
That was a bit of a mistake on the part of.
Oh, that's true, but he's too low.
No, they can't dive this.
Yeah.
They're too low. That was a mistake on the part of Kalista because she took the lantern, but then she jumped with a passive, so she stayed in place inside turret range. So she took a bit more damage than she wanted to.
Well, apparently to First Mechanics, it wasn't enough damage because he still has to heal up. So he had, I think he was like fully in control of the situation, no matter.
Yeah, because they juggled the turret aggro very well.
Yeah.
So she didn't die, but she took a bit more damage than expected, and that could be a problem if she does it again inside turret range. Because, for example, Lucian now has a BF sword. If she does that again, and she's not careful, she can be bopped in like 2 seconds flat. We'll see how it pans out. Kalista going for that Runa's Hurricane.
Yep.
And we have a little bit of aggression on the part of X on the bot lane. because they now have the advantage of damage.
Yeah, Force Mechanics has a small minion lead, but he's got this 2 assists, so I think the gold is not too much ahead. Yeah, it's about 300
it's-
gold.
Yeah.
But then there's a 200 gold lead for Yasuo, for Hehe on the mid lane over Rise. That's purely because of the CS. And let's see, otherwise, pretty even 200 on the top side. There's actually a youngers, big, massive difference with the CS lead and the kill for Pepsi.
It was the second blood, right? For
Yeah.
Graves? Yeah. So that it was not the first blood, but even so, it's 300 gold, right?
Yeah, I think it's I know a lot of people are just gonna be like, Krang, what the hell? Like, I think it's optimal for supports to get the first blood, because it makes them even closer to that side stone, which they possibly aren't. So that 300 gold is actually, you don't have to think about it a waste for support. It's actually an investment in vision that you're gonna get.
Yeah, you can think about it that way, but oh, and we have a gank top
for
lane.
a gank. Keeper's very totally whips out, but can Salman still get away with the flash? Doesn't get out. Pepsikin is gonna finish him off.
That was a crucial mistake on the part of Salamander, because that keeper's verdict can't miss.
Well,
He
it
shouldn't
can.
miss.
It's basically a skill shot.
Yeah,
Can
but he
miss.
shouldn't miss. Oh, some aggression on bot lane.
Yeah, to connect in, and nice shield is keeping bait. There's Fates Go knocking 2-man knock off. Tinder into the box, doing some damage. There's a lot of range actually. He's just gonna use it. Berkman gonna use his heal, but he still goes down. Salamander even came with a TP, and so was Matt Marius, but that was too late as they already got the kills.
X was winning that fight so decisively, and they stayed on it and tried to attack them, but they can't do that. They don't have damage potential to kill off one of the laners. So they just need to stack the range stacks, but if they can't, they're not gonna win.
Yeah, that's exactly what Fork Mechanics was doing in that fight, but I think the exhaust that came from Caster actually denied a lot of damage. I think that actually saved the tilted bottom lane.
They're pushing the and they get tower in the bot lane. So
Yeah, but so did
This-
Echo on the top lane.
yeah, this is a trade.
Oh,
we can.
King is also
They're
doing a
going
lane
for it.
gank. Ooh,
And
flash
flash
onto
hook.
Caster. Should be first. Kill over rather, and Pepsi King gets the third one.
This is 3 kills for a Graves, and this is very scary for anyone on the side of X, because Graves deals a lot of damage. It's not gonna be a pleasant surprise if Pepsi King finds Mad Marius and then in the jungle.
They're gonna get
They're-
the Zenith Rangers are gonna get the bottom lane all the turrets. So all the other turrets besides the mid lane one are down for Hex. So Zenith Rangers can, it opens up the map just a bit, but they really need that mid lane, and therefore the Fox uses the ultimate. He wants to kill onto Hehe, but he's just dashing over. Can he get one more route? Yep, the Pepsi King is doing the damage over. Actually, falsely predicted the end of the line, and now Echo is the one dealing with Yasuo. Yasuo gets the ulti on the Nako, but he's just a lot of damage. He's so tanky, he's not gonna go away. And a nice hook on Salman is just gonna make sure he's the one that's gonna fall. Also, Boar in the box getting his first kill of the game.
This is the second keeper's verdict that misses, and this one was dodged by Flash on the side of Pepsi King. So very well played by him, but you don't have a lot of those to miss, right?
No.
You can't miss those very often.
I
Oh.
think Pepsi King will be caught out, but can he get the lantern? He will, and he is out of there. Other side.
Get that under control. It's fine. It's fine. They're trying to pressure mid lane, dealing a bit of damage on the tower, but not enough to even get close to destroying it. So, and the hook fails.
It, You can't say it fails. It misses.
I mean, isn't it the same thing?
No, no. There's a big difference between failing and missing. Like, you can still win if you fail, but you don't win if you miss.
Interesting, interesting. We had the Rise to burn. Rise had to burn his ult to push off X from the tower, and I think things are normalizing now. But Kalista and the bot lane from X are staying in the mid lane since Thresh had to heal up from that damage he took, and they're going for him.
Ooh, Koi doing a lot of work!
that's
Oh,
a
Pepsikin just in time to save Fourth Mechanics alive. There's comes Spore in the box, he gets the roof onto Hehe, now doing a lot of damage. There comes Nafu also looking for Hehe, and Hehe is down. Pepsikin is gonna get his start, get force that Pepsi down on your throat.
I don't see if you saw the movement speed he gained by the Storm Raider Surge, but he was at 600 move speed at some
Ooh.
point.
That
Yeah.
is a lot. Matt Marius getting hooked in, and Matt Marius is. There's
They
all the
have
turret finally falling, so all of the turrets are down, and the map is wide open for Zenith Rangers now. They might even get half of this inner turret. I'm not totally sure they can get this, but they're
no.
committed. They are
They're
gonna get it.
Get the tower. Oh, this is a very important pick since it opens up the map, and now they're throwing out the wards in the jungle and getting everything from their side. And getting the advantage of the second tier turret on the mid lane is very important in getting an advantage in the game. We can see that there's a very huge difference in gold at the moment. 7,000, no,
Yeah,
6,000?
7.3.
Yeah. Okay, 7.3 thousand.
No,
At
8.
this point of the game,
8. It's 8.
Are we
No,
okay?
it's a. Are you getting tilted yet? I can't. I literally can't.
Basically, we have a big difference in this point of the game. So
Over 5,000.
it's a lot. It's a lot at 70 minutes.
Yeah.
If they can keep snowballing their
Arrow
advantage, they can.
conversions, but the stun doesn't connect on the Salamander. So it's coming with the ward on the buff.
Also, he has the buff from the Rift Herald, so he can push this lane out, even if it
Yeah,
doesn't
the
give
minions.
tankiness.
Yeah, the minions are doing some nice bit of damage. Look at those tens of damage just piling up,
Oh.
and Nafu just goes under to it, gets stunned, but uses the ulti just to get out of the caster Salamander combo.
Yeah, that chrono break saves him from a lot of mistakes. Just popping that out and returning to the place he was.
Yeah.
We'll see if they're going for a dragon play, because it's 5 seconds to dragon. So
They want it. They want the 6% extra damage.
yeah, and they have Kalista Ren to secure it if they can get her in time there. But
Let's see if Mad Marius can be a Madman Marius and get the steal on the dragon. But actually they're looking for a fight rather. Pepsikin is fighting with Hex, and Pepsikin is winning it, but there's the rest of the members of Hex. Looking for Nafu, who's in the front line, doesn't have Chrono Break available, but still Brom is gonna go down. Looking for Mad Marius as the next target, but a nice Keeper's Verdict is gonna keep Echo away, but Linder is still gonna get the kill on the Mad Marius. Looking for Salamander, even a flash from Pepsikin. Looking for just a lot of damage now, but Salamander is tanking. He looks to get away, but they're on the third, they are fighting, they want the kill, and they're gonna get the kill. Bird Mechanics even flashing, trying to get the kill onto Caitlyn, and he does get it with the dragon also. That's 4 members of Hex just falling for nobody and losing the dragon.
five even. Everyone on the side of X died.
Yeah, except
That
for
damage on the first bit of the fight on the Yasuo was very decisive on winning that fight, because he was out of the fight every single throughout it, so he couldn't help the team. And it took the bottom lane, the bottom tower, the second tier turret on the bottom lane. So
Hey, once again a little bit caught out by 2 members Can he somehow win this fight? Tune in next week. And
Nope.
hello next week. And the answer was no.
Nope. That's a lot of damage coming from the bot lane and the top lane from the side of Zenith Rangers. And we have a stun here. Are we gonna?
Oh, gets a face drive over the wall. And Porenbox finds Caitlyn and
Whoa!
Caitlyn is down. Booyah!
That's a one shot from a Rise.
Well,
That's also tanky.
in Caitlyn's favor, he wasn't full health.
Jesus.
But yeah, Zenith Ranger is just doing a Baron at 20 minutes. Baron just getting no time to rest as he comes into their rift. So like, what's up guys? And no guys, don't, oh no.
This brings me back memories from Moscow 5, doing Baron 20 minutes every single game they played.
Well, at least in Hex defense, they can only do the Baron at 20 minutes once.
Yeah. Damn it.
But yeah, actually a nice wolf camp steal from Linder as Pepsikins could have got out. There's the Lantern and he gets it just in time. They can't pile up on the CC in time.
He used the
Ooh, even the ult.
ult.
Yeah, from Matt Myers, such a great wave, just barely saving that turret.
Okay.
Okay.
Are we gonna see a 5v5 in the top lane? Because oh,
And Nafu
and
has
nice.
ulti. Oh, Flash Mechanics is a little bit alone. But Incinerate
That
don't go
was-
for it, but there's a TP from Nafu. And they're gone for it. It's a melting Hex members. Everybody is just falling. 3 members already down. Double kill for Flirt Mechanics. Looking for more. Getting a triple kill. Looking for more. Getting a quadra kill possibly. He wants to run. Is he gonna get it? It is gonna be a quadra kill for Flirt Mechanics.
And that was a quadra kill after Yasuo just landed four knockups on the side of
Oh
X.
my god, a surrender mode. Holy moly.
This was a stomp. A 21-minute game that lasted like no time. They had no chance to win this game, basically.
Yeah, I think it was either 24 minutes or 27 minutes. And this one, 21 and 41. Hex got 2 kills, 1 dragon, and 1 turret. That's it. Like, that is
Jesus.
very close to a near perfect game.
We could see the advantage they had. Yasuo just ulted 4 people, and even so, they lost the fight. So they
And he
were
was
so
far
behind.
He didn't have the item damage to back him up, to do the damage.
Even if Yasuo had the advantage on Rise with farm, Rise just was stronger. And I mean, you can't say much about this game. They just basically died.
Okay, so that was the end of game 2. Zenith Rangers leave this best of 5 series 2-0. We're gonna take a small break and we're gonna come back to see if Zenith Rangers can do what Epic Avalanche did last night and trio their opponents in the semifinals. We'll be right back.
Do you like the song? What the f was that? What do you want to hear repeatedly on the radio this year?
Something that sounds like the music I already listened to, but with different words.
Dunno really. Oh, if it's on, I'll listen to it.
Loud guitars, tunes, anything else is a bonus.
Well, it's pretty good, but you know, I'd need to ask my friends what they think first.
It's a fire in love. It's a fire in love.
And hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Game 3 between Zenith Rangers, this time on your blue side, and Hext on your red side. I'm Grang, and he is Mighty Waffle.
I think. Yeah, I am. Hello, everyone. We are doing the bands right now. Nidali, Kindred, Maokai on the side of Zenith Rangers, and Listen, Nazir, Echo on the side of Hext. When the Gragas picked up from the side of Zenith Rangers this time. Always at first pick Gragas for some reason. Obviously a very strong jungler, but it didn't work out for the X last game.
No, and it is still it's not a requirement. So you're gonna pick Krakas, okay. You're gonna go to the jungle. No, that is not a requirement. You can play him on the top lane also. You can play him on the mid lane. Hell, I think it was last season, Krakas was also being played as support. So there's a ton of flex with Krakas.
Yes, that's true, but I mean, who sees Gragas on the top lane nowadays?
Well,
it's not
yesterday with the Epic Avalanche and Flying Mariachis. I think it was Uliki who played Krakas top lane.
But it's not a very common pick though. It can be played, but it's not very common.
Well, who cares if it's common or not? If it works, it works.
Exactly. If it works, it works. We have the Lulu and Elise picked on the side of X Gaming. And we have a Blitz hover and a Gangplank hover on the side of Zenith Rangers.
Yeah, I think that Blitzcrank is your second favorite champion. You want to see him getting played. He is a fun champion.
It is a fun champion. And
come on, it's not locked in. It's not locked in. Oh, there it is.
Damn it.
Okay, so we have the rip-off Blitzcrank.
Yeah, it's the secondary Blitzcrank, obviously.
We have the Christopher Nolans of Blitzcrank. Do you get that? Do you get the joke?
Maybe.
It's because Thresh is like a darker version of Blitzcrank who's all funny from the campy 60s. Comparing
it's the same
Batman's.
thing, Crank. Come on.
It was funny. I thought in my mind, that is funny. Somebody will laugh at it. Maybe even giggle. I'm not doing it for you, I'm doing it for the fans.
Obviously. Do you think they're gonna pick the bot lane again, Thresh Callista? It worked last time.
Yeah,
Oh.
I mean, work mechanics is he's not a he doesn't shy away from the Callista, no matter anyone. But I think he wants to just try out every AD carry that he can before. So they're 2-0 against Hex now. So they only need one more win to go to the finals versus Epic Avalanche. So I think Ford just wants to experiment with all the AD carries he can. And yep, there's the new third AD carry for third game. It's Ezreal.
Maybe he's saving something for the finals and just showing us what he can do in the other ADCs. On the side of next, we have Janna, Nautilus, and Caitlyn. Nautilus going top lane versus a Gangplank. Can be difficult to lane versus a Gangplank since you're a melee champion, just because you can't kill off the barrels. But we'll see. On the bot lane from the side of Zenith Gaming, going for that Ignite for the pressure and the kills. We'll see if they can do such a thing versus a Caitlyn and Janna bot lane, because it's a very safe lane. They can just be miles away, just chipping on their health, and on their side, they want to engage, but Janna is the queen of disengage. So we'll see. And we have a Glenn's pick on the side of X.
Yeah, I think that is very smart. against Lissandra.
Yeah.
Like, so this is just me and my coach speaking, but I think Cleanse is a must pick against if you're laning against Lissandra.
Yeah,
Because he can
because
just lock you down like, with two abilities. With the Ring of
Yeah.
Frost and the Glacial Prison. So that just sets up for a gank. And it's not like the longest of cooldowns. So you can just use that over and over and over. But with the
We'll
cleanse,
see.
that is gonna at least save him one time for the 5 minutes, I think the cooldown is.
I can't see it right now, but
It's 5 or 3 minutes. No, it's not
It's
3
something
minutes
like
because
that.
it's. No, it's 5 minutes. It's 5 minutes.
yeah, but basically, even a Lulu, he has shields, he has speed ups, he has the ult to bring him back to HP, so he can be very safe versus Lissandra. And if Lissandra tries to dive him, he can turn around the fight and just kill Lissandra off. But that comes with a trade-off. He doesn't have as much pressure as Poro has with that teleport. So if they decide to, I don't know, 5-man gank bot and push out 2 turrets, what is he gonna do? Just run there? He's gonna take a long time to get there. So that could be something that Zenith Rangers can play around and get an advantage with. We'll see if they use it to their advantage. Also, it's interesting because last game Mad Marius played Graves with a very aggressive way of. No, it wasn't. No, I'm mistaken. Mad Marius played Gragas, and this time he's playing Elise. And it's champion that you can be very aggressive with and get a very early gank on either of the solo lanes or even the bot lane. Because that cocoon is very powerful, and you can get a lot of sustained damage just pinning down targets and chipping down on their health with that W on human form and the Q on the spider form. Because that deals a lot of damage and in a very rapid succession.
Yeah, I'm actually thinking about the cocoon as the 3-minute delay is over and we're gonna get into the loading screen. Hopefully I load into the game before 1 minute and 8 seconds. No, 3 seconds.
Let's see. You're
And,
improving, remember?
So I was thinking, Elise doesn't have a lot of viable targets that he can really gank because so he's gonna gank on the top side. Gamblanc has the orange to deny the CC, so
Yes.
that is gonna be a hard lane for him to gank. It's not the easiest target either on Lissandra because he just have the glacial bath, and if he just hogs the opposite side of the wall that he has warded, so that's also gonna be very hard and it's easy to dodge. So would the target that Elise puts focus on be the bottom lane?
If they, yeah, I mean, she can cocoon Ezreal and predict easy, but it's very hard, yes. And even if he gets the cocoon off, Thresh will just lantern him out. So that's interesting because even if he lanterns it out, if Jenna plays correctly, he can just stop the lantern altogether. So we'll see. We'll see what what the plan of Elise is this game, but it's shaping onto an interesting game. Are you in the loading screen yet?
Yes, I am in the loading screen.
Okay, when we can see the masteries on the players, all around very normal masteries. Jenna going for the Windspeaker's Blessing, Thresh with the Poundstone, both AD carries going for the Fervor of Battle, and the mid lanes going for the Thunderlord's Decree, the junglers going for the Strength of the Ages, and the top laners going for the Grasp of the Undying. It's interesting because
Ooh.
GP.
Hooray!
What?
Improvement! 52 seconds.
Ooh,
So,
we're improving, boys.
So that was almost 10 seconds that it improved. So I only need like 4 of these and I can start at 0 seconds.
We can see a pretty standard level 1, both junglers starting
that's-
on the top side.
Yeah, that's triggering. Like,
Uh,
I'll put it on the screen. That is triggering. When everybody else is like just looking, like mirroring each other's all the way across the map, and then there's Elise who's at the who's on the golems. Like, come on.
Come on, Marius, come on, dude. We've
Yeah.
talked about this.
Can't you be cool?
And they're taking the Gromp and the Krugs again, both bot lanes. Janet getting a lot of damage there. Maybe she can heal up with the pots, but that's half of her health. I was saying GP is interesting with Grasp and Undying because he can stack the Grasp for 4 seconds in the minion wave and then just Q to get the Grasp off out of Nautilus. As we can see there.
Yeah, Nafu is just gonna put a lot of pressure down with the parlays, especially level 1. I think he's gonna focus on getting those minions with the parlay yet, but now that he's got the barrels, I think he's gonna shift his focus a little bit. Nice barrels.
Yeah.
Salamander is OG. What the
That's
hell?
a lot of
150 or under 150, and Nafu! First blood! 2 minutes and 45 seconds against a tank Nautilus.
That's the power of GP. You get the true damage from that passive, and if you don't save yourself the damage that it deals, you're gonna be in trouble.
I hope that he, like, that is what tilt is made of.
Yeah.
Like, I hope that Salamander can just dig his way out of that tilt.
Salamander now has to play very safe because if he comes back with, like, I don't know.
Well, the thing is, he doesn't need to play safe yet. Because, okay, yeah, Gambler got the first blood, but he hasn't gone back to utilize that first blood money yet. So they're basically even. Still.
Right now, GP has 1,000 gold in
Yeah,
the bank.
but he
And
hasn't
he's
used
TP.
that to items. Now he's
He's
gonna
TP.
go back, he's gonna purchase items, and now GP is gonna be ahead.
And going for the Sheen for that damage
Yeah,
with
no.
the Q.
Yeah, no surprise at all.
That's a lot of damage coming
Ooh,
in the
Matt
way
Mar-
of
Pepsi
Salamander.
King. Sitting up in the brush, looking for gank on this tilt combo. Matt Marius is also there. I think he got spotted. Yeah, there's a ward, and Pepsi King was like looking at the bottom lane and was like not looking where he is, so he didn't get spotted out. But I think it was either linear or flat mechanic or somebody from Scenic Rangers that was like, there's a brush. No, there's a ward in your brush. Like, do you see it?
Yes. The bottom lane, right?
Yeah, most likely.
Yeah. We can see a lot of damage coming the way of Poro. He also burned both of his bots. No, just one of them. Okay.
Yeah.
Because he was hit by 1 Q from Lulu, and he took like 150 of his health. So that is a lot of damage.
Hold on, actually, I'm gonna just shift the focus back onto Nafu for just the time being, because is he running a bandit? Yes, he is. He's running a bandit. So every time he hits an enemy, he gets like 10 gold. Like, I just noticed that, and he's looking for a kill once again on Salmon. He gets it. Oh god.
That was no, that was a flash. That shouldn't have happened, but
Well,
okay.
secured.
Yeah, secured. It's worth. It's 2 kills for GP. So
Yeah, if,
he's ahead now.
Yeah, if Matt Marius doesn't put any focus now on the top side, which he should be doing at this point, because so Nafu doesn't have flash up, you should always play around of your enemy summoners not being up.
Again.
Actually, Pepsi King looking to chase Matt Marius away from his going camps, which is not actually the correct term anymore, but I like to live in the past.
Again, if Matt Marius focuses on the top lane, You can just orange out of the cocoon and get away, but
Yeah, but if they
Even
pile
so.
the CC,
yeah, even so, yeah, that's what I was thinking. Even if he uses the orange to CC remove the CC from the cocoon, he can get hit by the hook,
Yeah.
and the passive, and the ult, and the slow, and
for Salamander is
Nautilus.
still level 5, so
Yeah,
I
but
wanna
it's-
say that Marius and Salamander are waiting for Nautilus to hit level 6, and then can.
He's 3/4
I
into
like to
the,
say
the
that,
level.
but Marius focuses on this bottom lane.
Got spotted out by a ward though,
Yeah,
so
burst
he's
it
not
out.
gonna get the gank off.
Yeah, free money, or gold rather, as there is no economy in Runeterra. It's just gold, not money. There's a difference.
There's not many economic trading in the Runeterra now.
Well, no, there's two. There's two. Can you name the two?
The two factions?
No.
The two what? What are you asking me? What?
The economic traders. Like there is two of them.
I don't know. No, I don't know. Tell me.
The shopkeepers.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, that's where they trade the economics. So you can use money to purchase items, or you can even sell items and get money back. Economics.
Yeah. Okay. Damn it, Frank.
Did you study economics at all?
No.
Well,
I'm on
that
computer
was-
science.
Oh, that was a shame.
Sorry.
I need a caster who has a master's in economics, so I can like tell him off like, oh, the shopkeepers obviously.
And we have a little bit of aggression on
Yeah,
the
Nathu is also moving
red.
up to the red buff. I think he got spotted out as Marius is moving away. Yeah, there's a ward.
So he saw
Oh
them
no, the
moving
big
up
ward.
the-
Oh no. That vision.
Yeah. It's the banana brush.
Yeah.
It doesn't cover everything.
Okay, so
Oh.
still stole away the red buff, so it was worth, and Salamander is behind his CS, so the time that he is not spending on lane is the time that he is not spending on getting farm.
Yeah, but the lane is pushing against him, so he can be fine and just farm it out because there's a big wave pushing to the top lane. So he's gonna get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 minions if he farms perfectly. So
I'm looking. He had 44 CS.
yes,
Okay,
yeah.
so he got 6. Oh, Campbell,
Alright, that's
ulti,
the ult
and
bot lane.
Lysandra looking for caster possibly. Yeah, there's the ulti even, but that's just gonna lock him down. Burrow in the box is gonna get a kill on the caster.
That's the pressure I was talking about. They can.
Pepsi, you're a jungler trying to fight a mid lane move.
Watch out, hey, has a lot of damage also.
Oh, Caitlyn. Oh, Flash Mechanics takes the aggro. Crucial
flash.
Flash totally whips. And they actually play this around. Flash Mechanic has to use Flash and a heal. But they might get the kill on the Salamander in return. Can they get it? Yes, Winder takes the kill yet again away from Flash Mechanics. And Pepsi, oh, dodges out the good dance. Goes in anyway. Oh, he's gonna get the kill. No, the Wild Growth is keeping Hex alive, but he does not have any more mana. So can he get the kill? Pepsi King, if you play this correctly, you can get the kill. He goes in and he gets the kill onto Hey.
Jesus, that was a lot of damage coming from Gragas on that Lulu, and she wasn't expecting it. Just trying to duel it out with him,
Yeah,
but
It's,
you have to be careful.
yeah, it's interesting that Hehe didn't choose to flash the body swap because he had the vision. There was a ward in a brush that Pepsi King came from, so he could have flashed it and denied some damage, and I think he would have been close on having enough mana to clear the lands again. Look, once again knocked connection onto Caitlyn. Caitlyn. Finally Caitlyn playing the proper champion that he was destined for when he chose the name.
You can see the vision control on the side of X. They don't have a lot of vision,
No, only two.
possibly
two
anywhere. They have two pings, one on the top side, one on the bottom side, and that's it.
Yeah, actually, Oro on his exhaust, he can get the kill. Looking for Caitlyn, and Mr. God is gonna get the kill. Looking for Matt Maris. Now there's actually TP that was cancelled on the Thresh Lander, and now Caster is all alone. Crucial Paras just attack him to get an assist and actually get the kill.
He has
But his
nowhere to
work
run though.
mechanics now all alone. Yes, he is. Matt Maris is gonna get the kill. Even a cocoon on the Lincoln now. I think that's gonna be enough damage. If she goes for Horror in the box. And there's the Gambler. Oh, they also keep it in play. And Hey just gets melted once again. Wildcrow doesn't go all the way to activate. And he doesn't get the hell out of it.
I was saying that they don't have vision anywhere in
Nafu,
the bot side
actually?
jungle, and they couldn't see the players coming from that jungle.
Yeah, Nafu
So
should get this kill on Salamander. There's nowhere he can get. Find some
yeah,
time.
Salamander is just getting destroyed by this gangplank. They could,
Doesn't quite get the kill though.
she's not very strong at the moment, so she cannot kill off Strength of the Ages Gragas at the moment. Also, he went to from Runic Echoes to Dark Seal.
Ooh.
Dark Seal pickup on the top side, the jungle.
So I think it was Luigi from Epic Avance last night also that was running a Dark Seal that he put into a Medjais when he was playing the Gragas top lane. And so
Yes, but
it was
but
also in the
Dark-
third game. So
Yes,
is
but the
Pepsi
Dark
King
Seal,
is
the
he gonna
Dark Seal
go
in the
for it?
laner. Oh, and Flash Mechanicus.
Is he gonna get the lantern? Oh, nice knockback! Actually cancels out the lantern. But can he still get
Oh.
away? No, he can't because Caitlyn is there, and Matt Maris is actually to be the one that is gonna take the kill.
That was the perfect storm he needed to cancel.
Nafu!
Salamander.
Oh, can you? Do you have enough? Oh, he has to flash away. No flash
No.
on Salamander. He can't get the kill.
That would be a very important kill in the top lane.
Yeah.
If he could get that, he could be back in the game with that gold from the bounty hunter.
Yeah.
Hmm.
But Hex still are gonna get their first turret of the game. It's out turret on the bottom lane.
And the towers are now even. Top lane from X is down, and Zenith Rangers left the bottom lane. We'll see if they want to do a dragon play right now.
It's a little risky. There's a lot of vision from Hex there.
There's a lot of vision from both teams, so they need to clear it before they can do it. So we'll see if they go for it. Right now they're going for the mid lane though.
Yeah, just hovering over, just thinking where to go next. Just trying to get some foothold.
Caitlyn is picking up that red buff.
Yeah, he does.
Yep. Yes, it.
Pick.
What Gangplank basically what he's doing is he's forcing Salamander out of the fights from the with that CC that he has, and if he can get Salamander out of the fights, every single one of them, he can use his ult to pressure out the map and still be effective at pushing the turret. And they're going for the Drake. So yep, and he takes it.
Down for Zenith Rangers.
And
So that's
15
15
minutes, so
so that's
22 something on the dragon timer, right? It's
39
7
minutes? 39 minutes.
what's the 7 minutes? Isn't it 7 minutes?
No, it's 6 minutes. 7 minutes for Baron.
Okay. So it's at 20 minutes.
Yeah, it's 39 minutes for 5th Dragon. And Box goes in for Hehe and he just...
Oh,
Even
oh,
uses the explosive cast on to Matt Marius, but he is looking to get the kill on the core, and he does get it. Well, Pepsikin is gonna get a double kill out of that, and Flurk Mechanics also on the mid lane. They're gonna get this inner outer turret on the mid lane.
they're probably not gonna keep pushing because the wave is gone, and Caitlyn can clear out the wave very fast. But we'll see if they stay around on the mid lane, because Gragas is hovering around the jungle side. Are they gonna dive it? They are?
No. Yes. No. Oh,
Oh,
got the hook.
oh.
They might want to do it. Caster is dead.
That is the burst you can deal with.
Oh, even going for Gateway now, but no ultimate on Camp. Oh, Gragas actually, and Power Buffs just has to flash in to get the kill. Barely getting them away. First mechanics bought out by the dredge line. But can they get any more? There's Campa finally getting the damage with the barrows. Trying to get something. Mamara is dancing around looking for Campa, and now hook connects on to Nautilus, and that just secures the kill for Power Buffs.
And this is basically the repeat of the last game. They got one tower and then they lost 3 of them. So top lane was down on the before that fight. They got the second tier turret and mid lane. And
Oh! Oh!
yeah.
Oh my god, he's alive! They all got stopped because Mamara is just staying alive, and hey, finally
That's
getting a kill.
TP.
TP coming up from Gamblanc. I'm not sure you want that. You're all alone, mate. Trying to get something, but the barrows are denied. Epsikin still got 1 kill. Got the barrows off, but it doesn't matter because he doesn't get any kills. Instead,
He
just
doesn't
gives
quite
out,
have them.
yeah, just gives out the shutdown code.
Whew. That was a very intense fight, and Lissandra went a bit too deep on that one. Just getting caught out and destroyed by the CC that is hey. So we'll see if they can get this middle tower, because they're pushing for it. Pepsi is very low, so he needs to recall, so he's not gonna be able to defend. And they are going to get it.
Second turret for them, so that opens up the bottom side of the map quite nicely. Now, I think if they can play aggressively, they would go for the either trying to get the outer on the top lane or gonna go for the inner on the bottom lane.
They also could have gotten the Herald and getting that buff if they're defending a push. It can be very helpful. Oh, and the blue buff went to Gragas instead of Lissandra. So that's gonna limit her in terms of damage.
Well, foreign buff still has passive that is gonna basically give out a free ability, if I remember right.
Yes.
Every 18 seconds. So
Every something seconds,
yeah,
yes.
every 18 seconds, I just checked it. So he's not gonna be using that much of a mana, but still, buff up with the cooldown reduction would have been ideal for Lissandra.
Yes.
But they
And
can still
it
get
also
hits.
gives you ability power. So.
Hmm.
Oh, and the blue went to.
Nafu. No buff.
Lissandra is doomed.
No buff up. They are retro viruses. You don't want a retro virus.
You see, GP is saving him.
Yeah. Look at the damage that Nafu's already taken. That's because of the retro virus.
That's a very big push with the Baron buff minions and
No, it's a retro.
yeah, the Ritual, sorry.
Gambang uses the ulti, but mainly to create a wave so he can push down even harder. Just
Both hooks missed. And Gragas is laughing.
just
Throwing
Just showing.
throwing the VM.
oh, on the Matt Marius, pull it up. Anyhow, Gambang is doing nice with the damage actually on the KD9, hey, and now Nafu is called out, and Matt Marius gets the kill and the blue buff from Nafu. But Matt Marius now called out by Hook now, and he's dead. Work Mechanics is gonna get the blue buff.
That's a very important pickup. Elise always dangerous when you're diving her because of the cocoon, obviously.
Yep.
And we'll see if they can siege this, because they have a very good counter siege comp.
Trying to get some bit of damage onto that inhibitor. Hook connects
No,
on the
and
salamander.
that's
They
what
want to get the kill, and Drus up Barras is gonna finish off the kill.
Salamander is very squishy still, so he cannot be afford to get hooked there. We also have a bit of vision on that side, but they can't defend it right now. They just can't. I think this push will dictate the downfall of that turret.
It's actually Linger
Oh,
actually
the
used
shield.
Face of the Mountain shield onto himself. So that's a shield that's not gonna be in the fight, but Foreign Box goes in, 3-man knocks up, and he's gonna get one. Linder is gonna be the one that's gonna get one. We give him Matt Maris the next target. Linder takes away, damage from the third attacker also, is in the hole, only connecting onto Pepsi King, and he just doesn't mind. Nafu has finally joined the fray, and what can he do?
That's. I mean, they're getting a bit low now, so they're overstaying their welcome. And if they keep doing it,
Oh! 22 HP. Oh, that dog in the camera goldie. Cannon barrage.
secure. I mean,
That is 80
when,
carry
when
down.
you're that low, I mean, when you're that low, you can't do anything about it. If the cannons go to your face, you just have to take it.
Yeah. And they get Immortals, nice damage. I think only hit Caster. Teleport. Coming, looking for Hehe, has to use Walker, and Foreign Box is all alone. Doesn't have Glacial Person available, but Mechanic is still gonna get the kill onto Hehe, and has to flash over the wall out of harm's way. They're still going for this inhibitor turret.
Because top lane is pushing, because they have a very big wave in the top lane,
Oh, yeah.
pushing the turret onto their side. So they can't
Oh,
afford to do
Lord.
this.
And gets out, and hooks Matt Marius, but can't follow it up anymore. Actually, Pepsi King goes in, but I think he shifted somehow, and now Salamander locked in, Glacial Person. Finally, the inhibitor turret has fallen, and First Mechanic is doing work in the backline. Flash hook onto Caitlyn now, and they're gonna get the kill. That is an ace for Zenith Rangers. Hehe actually is now up, and Caster is coming up in 10 seconds. I don't think he can get any more than this inhibitor.
This is the strength of the
Oh,
team.
no, they're looking! They get the kill! Another race!
Even
Caster is now
even
up.
after the cleanse. Even after the cleanse, they can really do nothing here, basically. Oh,
Hook onto Caster now! Can they get the second ace? Yes, it's an ace once again!
Yep.
And now Salamander and Mad Marius are coming up. Okay.
This
Oh,
was-
surrender! Okay. So, Hex surrender 2 games. So that means Zenith Rangers are going to the finals to face the Epic Avalanche next Sunday.
this was brutal. These 2 games were just so brutal. 23 minutes on this game. The last game was 21 minutes, 41 seconds.
Yeah, and the game before
So-
that was around 24 minutes. So,
Jesus.
Zenith Rangers, they really showed that the bootcamp, that whatever they did, really paid off.
Whoa. This is surprising. This is 3 games back to back, going to a stomp every single time. So we're seeing the strength of Zenith. We'll see if they can maintain it onto the finals next week.
Okay, so I'm just quickly gonna look at something. So if you have something to say about the game, go ahead.
Like what? The game was basically a stomp, every single one. So there isn't much to say about this games basically. Right?
Yeah, hold on. I'll just looking something. So, like, if you have anything to say at all.
I don't know. Maybe we can see that they just had nothing really going for them. The side of X, basically, they got outplayed in every single lane. Went on a very difficult path in terms of rotations. They couldn't get any real objectives. I mean, They basically did nothing to improve their situation. They lost in farm in every single lane. I mean, there isn't something very decisive they could have done really, because they were so lost in the first stages of the game. But I mean, we'll see if they can get better as the league progresses. Um,
Okay.
did you?
Yeah, so I was asking Ford if he wants to give out a post game interview, and his words at finals. So
At
he is really confident that they can win against Epic Avalanche. Okay, so that was the semi-final weekend for us, the Premier League. I'm still sure that there is minor and conference week semi-finals that are being played out at 6 p.m. Central European summer time. And next week is the final week. As you can see on the screen, next week every final is getting streamed and casted. So we're gonna start off with Friday at 6 p.m. Central European Summer Time. It's gonna be the Conference Week finals. And then on Saturday, 2 p.m. Central European Summer Time, it is going to be the Minor League finals. And then Sunday, 2 p.m. Central European Summer Time, the Premier League finals. And then there's gonna be a free week, and after that week, we'll most likely be playing out the promotion tournaments for the winners of minor and conference week to see if they can make it up into the better. I'm not gonna say better, higher league rather. So,
Okay.
So tune in for next week. You can see the spreadsheet on the Twitch chat. Thank you, XCon. So I was Krang, and he was Mighty Waffle, and we wish you a very happy 1st of May.
I thought you were going to wish them a very happy Merry Christmas. But okay.
It's not Christmas. It's 1st of May. Gosh.
I know. It's Mother's Day today.
Oh, is it today? I thought it was next week.
No, it's the first Sunday of every May.
No, 1st of May is the 1st of May. That is a national holiday. But then I think for us there is the Mother's Day is next week. I'm pretty sure.
You're in Portugal?
Maybe it is for you, but it isn't for us.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Okay, so bye bye guys. See you next week.